So, talking about interpersonal engagement under the heading of autism, I found this really, like, I've always assumed, and it's always dangerous to assume, that students who don't interact with children don't want to interact with children.
This was my takeaway.
And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, yeah, that child is not interested in his peers. And I was like, actually, he may be very interested in peers and doesn't know, and the guilt that came with that recognition, I was like, oh my gosh, I have let so many children down by not acknowledging and supporting them.
I had exactly the same kind of whakaaro, and it just struck me because I sort of could think of one boy in particular who would walk off and have a space, and we'd sort of talked about that, and I'd even talked about it with his whānau and talked about it with him, and just sort of said like, well, often, you know, he takes himself out, and that's like not out the classroom, but sort of out of the conversation or out of the space, and never crossed my mind to think actually that engagement from peers is still needed and wanted and desired by him. I just hadn't.
It's just mind blowing. It just changes the way you approach any intervention.
Yeah.
It's like you can't just. And it also brings this understanding of normal life. Do you know, like, it's not they're different, they don't want that. It's actually they're the same as us, just need a bit of support.
And that comes from both a neurotypical kids may need support, and adults may need support to build that bridge and engage in that communication. Not just it being the autistic student who needs support to engage in that communication. It's something that stuck with me.
I guess if you get a new child into a class, for example, everybody wants to get to know them, and it would be the same for them. People would want to get to know them, so we need to actually give students those tools that they can use to interact, even if it is just sitting alongside them, doing what they want to do alongside them, just something to help those connections.
That's interesting, eh? I think the couple of things that I took from it was, like how important that time when people are just little babies, like how the importance of that kind of really intense, interpersonal engagement is, even under the age of 1, like for any child, but especially for autistic children, to kind of start building, I guess those pathways. I thought that was really, really interesting. And also there was that there was a cool little model, the experience sharing model.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And it was really cool. Like, it was really simple, but and I might be wrong, but I sort of just took from it that it was basically that the idea of kind of like being alongside a child and kind of like, having kind of intense interpersonal kind of engagement with them, sort of to model. I think that was right, like to sort of model how to have that engagement.
That's what I took from it. It was less about the content.
Yes, and then not really being any like fixed kind of outcome as such. It was just about like genuinely just sharing an experience with that child, to just
enjoying each other, I guess.
Yeah. It was quite lovely. Like, I liked it how it was just sort of really simple, but obviously really impactful and effective. So I learned a lot from that, because that's an area I don't know very much about. Like working with really small children and and how that can have such an impact. So it was really cool.
I sort of thought as well that sort of sitting alongside my guilt with like allowing the kids to go off by themselves was the fact that like that interpersonal engagement, I should say, is so important for haura and our well-being, and that genuine, authentic engagement gives us purpose and helps fill our buckets, and without that, and without providing the support and the tools around that, those kids are missing out on that genuine, authentic engagement. And I thought, actually that does, like, I'm someone that if I spend too much time by myself, like just in my personal life, like if I spend too much time by myself, I need people. Like I have to be around people, and I sort of recognised that in myself and thought, okay, I certainly didn't always provide that for that cohort of students.
Yeah.
So
Gosh,
I also wondered about it. I saw it as like a self-fulfilling prophecy, like a child who doesn't have good social skills is full of fear of social interactions, pulls away. And if you look at the 2-year-olds, when they do so much of that learning, 3-year-olds, by the time they've come to school, they just haven't had that practice. All of those accidental interactions that happen when they're so young. They probably have avoided those. So huge learning that they do in ECE when they interact with each other in the chaos of toddlerhood.
It's just amazing.
But maybe it would be better to learn it in a more structured environment like school.
Well, because it's some of the social coaching stuff, right? Like it's very explicit, even like at toddler level. Around like if someone comes over, we do this. And rightly or wrongly, I often think of Sheldon from Big Bang. Because like he's learned experience, he's learned ways to engage with people. And it's very but so normalised in the friendship group on the show because it's just that's who he is.
That's true.
Okay.
Excellent.